So I just removed my Dometic 3-way fridge, and as you can see, this is the pipe that has to be kept level so that the little incline will serve to allow the coolant inside to flow. It's probably the reason why I just never found this fridge to be cold enough. Anyways, after benefiting from a lot of the YouTube videos out there, decided to give back, shoot my own video in the process I'm going through to replace this fridge with the NovaCool 3800 compressor refrigerator. I did encounter several videos that show the compressor fridge swap, but I have yet to see Pleasureway Ascent refrigerator swap, which is what I'm going through. I have a 2017 Pleasureway Ascent. So hopefully this short video will help some of you considering the same deal for those of you that own the Pleasureway Ascent. So here we go. So here we are inside of the Pleasureway Ascent. Mine's 2017. This is a quick shot of what my camper van looks like. This is where the Dometic fridge came out. By the way, I could not get the fridge to come out this way, so I had to lay the bed down flat and then pull out the table and basically pull the refrigerator over the bed area through the back door. That's how I got it out. Definitely a two-person job, but it's doable. So this is the propane connection that had to be undone. These are the electrical connections, 12-volt connections, and of course the 110 power was hooked up into this outlet there. This opening here, for those of you considering the same fridge, NovaCool 3800, is slightly smaller, so the opening will have to be made smaller. So what I did was basically I started by let me back up. This opening is much bigger than this secondary opening with the rubber gasket here, as you can see, and that serves to block out the road noise. There are two vents here that are just directly open to the outside, so without the rubber gasket here, and on the bottom, it would let some of the road noise in through the cracks of the side of the refrigerator and so on. So what I decided to do was, this opening is a little bit big for the NovaCool 38. Sorry, NovaCool 3800. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repurpose that corner, use that corner, raise the floor a little bit so that it sits a little bit higher than this rubber gasket. This side I'm going to insert a trim here to bring this in a little bit to make it a little bit tighter there, a little snug, which means basically I'd have to add a trim piece down here. I was able to find a laminate that very closely matches this, so I just took a little piece of hardwood, measured to size, put laminate on it. The refrigerator will sit on top of this. It'll be snug up against here. On the right side, I will need probably about a ½ inch trim here. Again, I'm going to take that and put similar kind of laminate on it to make it nearly inconspicuous when I'm done. The top will get about a couple inches of a trim. Again, something very similar to here. So that's, for those of you considering that, the NovaCool 3800 swap, that's what you're dealing with pretty much. Now some people have just connected directly to the 12 volt power supply, and that may be okay. So if you do that, you're going to always have to open the refrigerator and use the on-off control inside the refrigerator to turn it on and off. What I elected to do is to run additional lines here to a switch so that I can turn the fridge on and off from outside the fridge, to just kind of simplify things a bit. Also, I live in Southern California. It gets pretty hot here sometimes. What I'm going to do is, the NovaCool is only 18 inches deep from this point. So there's going to be plenty of space down here. So I'm going to install a 12 volt fan. Again, operated by one of these, the secondary switches for the fan. So when it gets pretty hot, I'm going to turn that on. Hopefully it'll suck air in and vent out the hot air for the condenser in the back. Hopefully that would make the refrigerator a little more efficient when it does get super hot in here. That's about it. Again, those of you that own Pleasureway, you bought it for quality, probably, just like I did. With this refrigerator area, they could have just elected to just have a big opening with vents in the back, and because the refrigerator sits snug in this opening, it'll probably knock out the road noise quite a bit. But I was impressed when I did open this to find these kind of features where they put a very snug rubber gasket all around the back. So again, the wirings are done in a very orderly, organized fashion with these tie downs. So again, very impressed with the build quality. So okay, I do not have the refrigerator here yet. It takes about, the company says 5 to 6 weeks to ship. I think it ships from Canada. It's been about 3 weeks, but I'm just doing a prep work. So next work is I'm going to create a raised bottom here, channels, probably like 3 pieces of wood tied together. Also a piece in the back that raises this whole area to the same height as this. And then I'm going to wait until the refrigerator gets here so I can do an accurate measurement, make sure the seals butt up nicely snugly against the fridge. And then that would determine exactly how thick of a trim I need over here, as well as the trim on the right side. So I will do that when the fridge gets here. I will complete this video, so in about 3 weeks when the fridge gets here, when I complete it. That's it for now. Okay, there's the refrigerator. Finally showed up today. I think it took about 5 weeks. So I was just finishing up some trim inside the Ascent. So I made a bottom platform. Let me step back. So I needed to add about 1.5 inches on the bottom, as well as the platform, 3 legs on the bottom so that it's flush with the front trim kit. I also added this piece here because it doesn't go up as high, and it's too wide, so I had to add a 1/2 inch of trim. I was able to find laminate that's very similar to the existing laminate. I added this switch here for the fridge, and I intend to also add a fan. Back here is plenty of space. I think the refrigerator comes out to about here. So I am able to put a fan down here in case the absorption refrigerator really struggled keeping anything cold. And this refrigerator, it's a DC compressor, so even if you were to plug in, it would still convert the 110 to DC to run the compressor. So I actually opted not to get the AC DC, just went with the DC, because with lithium batteries, when I'm plugged in, I'm charging the batteries anyway, so I should be able to just always have enough power from the lithium batteries to run the compressor. And I think compressor only takes 2.2 amps or so. At 0.5% duty cycle, that's like literally nothing. Even if I stop charging battery, I think it would still run for over a week, which is never the case. So, you know, with solar panels. So there you go. Yeah, so I'm about to install a refrigerator, hook things up. I don't have a fan yet. Like I said, I have a switch for the fan, but we'll see if that's necessary. So next step is bring the fridge in and insert it in there and see what happens. So the refrigerator is about 21 inches wide. I think it barely fits here, but I think I'd rather go through here. Oh, it's probably easier. Okay, there it is. The refrigerator is only 55 pounds, so with two people it was cinch to just lift it up onto the bed. And now let me struggle with it and stick it in there, see if it fits. Okay, the refrigerator is in, fits like a glove, so didn't have any trouble. That was a dry fit. I'm going to take it out and run some seals all the way around to isolate the cabin from any road noise, because there are two vents behind it. And frankly, while we were driving around without the refrigerator, with those two holes, it was pretty noisy inside the van. So yeah, I'm gonna run some rubber seal all the way around and then screw it in, and that's that, and then make the electrical connection. That should be it. And eventually I'll have to add a fan back there to cool down the condenser unit back there. That's it. Okay, so let me take it out, put the seal, reinstall it, screw it in, turn on the power, and then I'll show you what that looks like inside. Okay, so I did apply gasket, or did apply. Okay, so I did apply the strip of 3/8 inch seal all the way around. This is mostly, sorry, music is a little loud. This is mostly, sorry about that, mostly to try and minimize wind noise coming in from the outside, because behind the refrigerator there are a couple vents that are open. So I'm going to shove it all the way in and then screw it down and then make the connection, and that should be it. So the refrigerator install is all complete. It's in there. This black finish is not as nice looking as an aluminum front Dometic that we had, so I didn't realize it was this texture, this color. So may order an aluminum panel insert to cover this up. But here's a temperature readout. As you can see, nice and cold. The refrigerator is working fine. As far as the impact of battery, none per my calculation. Still have to install the fan in the back. There is a small fan in the back already that comes with NovaCool. But just, you know, I made the provision for it, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and install that. When you take out the Dometic refrigerator, there are two DC wires. One has a fuse along the line. It's from the same source, same 12-volt supply. One line already has a fuse in it, so without thinking, I connected up the refrigerator to that line, thinking, well, additional fuse would help. As soon as I turned it on, it burned out that fuse. So that obviously was a service line for very low power draw electronics or something. So anyway, I switched over, basically hooked it up without a fuse, and it's fine. So I'm very happy that it's able to get down to a 33, even colder than my refrigerator in the kitchen. So I think that's it. So if there are any questions, or if there are any of you with Pleasureway Ascent that want to do this, feel free to reach out. I'll give you whatever help or pointers I can give. A little gap here. I couldn't make this perfect, but I may seal that up. But overall, I think it looks okay.